working really well right now, but there's still B info, and that's a nice start. Immediately taken down on the B peak, and now in come the T's. They can surely get a bump on here. JDC going to try and tap the cross, and he has killed one. Zershan here as well. Bombs drop. Pepsor recovers. Oh my goodness, Pepsor. That's one hell of a round, and it might be enough.
Oh my word, yeah. This is now a really rough spot to be in. Sui, they're coming for him, right? They're wrapping in through middle. They're holding on to ramp. Oh my word. Out through connector. Keve trying to pressure him. Sui dancing between these enemies, and it's Regali to come up through ramp and cut the head off the beast that is mouz NXT, putting a stop to that round before it gets out of hand. And a lot of it coming off the back of Pepsor.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I mean, you know, he's definitely worth talking about, right? He was signed to the... Before Fnatic had this academy team, he was signed to the main roster as a sixth man. It's a substitute, right? And that caught people's eyes when it happened. It was like, oh, trying to bring up some fresh talent. Especially because when that move actually happened, Hugo, you and I had gotten to speak to Golden a little bit on the run-up to that, having just done Summit, if you remember. And he was talking a lot about how one of the things that was lacking in Sweden for so long was a proper way to develop and bring up talent, right? Then the Pepsor signing happened, and it was like, oh, cool. Are they going to try and integrate him? Never really saw that happen. He was just more of a sub in case anyone was ill on the day. But it's great to see him, you know, now given a chance to show us what he's got in the server on this academy team.
Yeah, that's one thing that, you know, from the Swedish teams in this tournament have been apparent. The big Swedish orgs of Fnatic and NIP, right? Both have teams in this event. Both have, you know, pulled players up from academy rosters to the main team, you know, in the sense of not only Golden, but on NIP, right, what they've been doing recently with Linus and ZTR. So, yeah, there's lots of good examples. And so fostering new Swedish talent, we're all for that, Harry. We're all for it. But right now, it's a force buy from mouz NXT. And remember, this Fnatic roster, this Fnatic Rising roster, is only 2 Swedes. Got a Romanian in there, Portuguese guy, and Germany as well represented inside of this roster. So international on both sides. Shane back at B now, blinded, and it's not getting easier. Double flash, they can see his legs, and they grab him out from underneath him. JDC can't stop the cross. The scout doesn't help out either. Nice shot from Zershan, but is it all in vain? 2 on 4, and it's getting worse. Zershan just looking for exits here. Fnatic Rising, you know, 2 rounds on the board.
Yeah, good start out of them. I'm really curious to see what happens when the rifles come out, though, right? Like, pistol rounds, always a little bit wild card, generally speaking, very unrepresentative of how a game is going to play out, but they certainly help bolster your rounds. I want to see how we fare in this first rifle head-to-head, man. This is where we get a better impression of what's to come. So we got that little 2-0 start, fully coat looming for the side of mouz NZXT.
Yeah, Harry, for all the team speaks we've got to listen to today, we've never actually had English speaking.
Yeah, one that we can understand.
So I'm pretty sure, I think it's this round, we'll be jumping into some team speak from mouz NXT.
The first flash, story.
Just
flash behind yourself.
Oh yeah, the right click flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went instantly ladder last round. Yeah.
Flash.
Flashing.
Flash.
Yeah, flash B.
Flashing.
You stunned. 1B. Under
Bed is
stairs.
in over there.
And ladder behind you.
One under stairs on
Behind
B.
you, ladder pushing, I think.
And
He went
one
back
coming
into
through from B.
He mollied. I don't think he pushed.
Story is T-spawn, one is in ladder.
He's
One is
He's going towards A. They're going towards A.
Can be.
Grouping A.
Yeah, grouping A.
Okay.
I'm on Ivy.
One is
Nothing
flanking,
B,
one is from
nothing
B.
B.
Clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they group A. They were
You were
just
just
executing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They mollied Ivy. I fall back.
They mollied some back.
Try to fight them on long, guys. When they come up long, maybe.
Okay.
You can maybe spam the smokes, get a bit lucky as well.
I'm holding Ivy.
Let's go Ivy.
Let's walk kick now.
Yeah, there's
Thanks.
smoke.
Let's swing.
He's
Ivy
close.
dead.
Nice.
Ivy one
more
more.
Ivy.
And
I'll
one
drop you
ramp.
guys.
Do ramp on
One
Ivy.
up.
Nice try, nice shot.
Nice
Good
try.
fucking Nico, guys.
Good
Nice
damage.
flash. Nice flash. Let's
Well
go.
done. Okay, let's go now.
Let's do gambits. Let's start a gambit.
Let me drop you up.
Okay, so the fact that we can understand them makes it even cooler.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought it would, but I didn't think it would make it that cool. I do really like getting to hear them talking to one another. And when you can understand it, it just hits different.
Yeah,
it just
does.
hits different,
It
doesn't
really
it?
does, yeah.
I love that they had the read nice and early, right? Of like, yeah, they regroup in A, they're moving in. And like, you know, when we're watching it from our POV, not much have been given over in terms of like sound cues or anything to give that away. It just goes to show you, like, there is a lot going on in the comms that is like unrepresented, right, by what we get to see in the server.
Finally, Torsi on the orb. He's bringing it back towards that A site. There's an AWP on the other side as well. So he's got the short side. They've been volleying it, but he's going to hang around and hope for them to come to him. They will. Nice start from Sui. And now the CT's flash peek another fight, taking a lot more ramp control, or at least trying. So they know about the close Mac 10. The flash is good from the T side, and Keve is going to grab that kill. The AWP going down.
Yeah, mouz NXT, they've lost their AWP early on here. Bomb retrieved. Fnatic Rising grouping up outside of the B site. Shane here just has to kind of, you know, hold out all on his own, falling back, doesn't want to hang around that smoke as it starts to fade. While this is happening, Kevy still flanking this this A bomb site, trying to give the illusion that this is an A play, and it's kept the numbers of mouz NXT pretty limited over here towards B. Second player still just floating. Oh, Pepso with the tap. Shane on the receiving end of that.
Nice
There's a response from JDC, but he's going to have to offer a little bit more here. They're flooding in, and JDC, the man to part the seas to stop the floods. JDC finds that first round for mouz NXT.
Yeah, he is sick, isn't he? This guy does look really, really comfortable, no matter what weird and wacky moment you throw him into. It's great to see. First round of the board there for mouz as well. It didn't start too well, even though they got the opener. It was the AWP dead to the Mac 10. Not really a nice trade, but back into the B site, and it's held down by one man and one man alone. Yeah, that was a nice shot from Pepsor. Did like a double take when he saw that. But yeah, you know, with the veto coming this way, with you know, mouz is going straight in for a pick of Vertigo, it's exciting. And I didn't think that Fnatic would fare too well, considering, as said, these guys have barely played together. They've barely been formed more than a few days at most. So luckily enough, that doesn't seem to be holding them back just yet. But there's no doubts whether mouz are more experienced as a roster.
Whoa. Very intense zoom. It's a shame because, you know, Torsi's AWP is lost to the flow of time and the lack of money. So we've only got him on a rifle here. Xertion is taking some liberties, getting aggressive at ramp, and now finds himself behind.
No way.
Behind Fnatic. He just blindsides them with that kill. They never had any idea that someone was playing about in their smokes. Pepsor's back over here at B, playing the same position he opened up from last round. And JDC misses the timing initially, but he's given a second chance now. And this is not the guy you want to go giving second chances to. And that's why JDC bears down upon them. Strips a player out of the rankings, so now a 3-on-5 needed for Fnatic Rising.
I can't believe JDC goes back after he spotted the balls to make that move, and now he's in the right place to stop this conluck. He's not giving a kill over, you'll see. He's not fighting for middle. They're absolutely fine conceding it because they know the Fnatic can't get anywhere with this mid control. CT's covered as well. Very passive position behind yellow, and Keva is going to have to fight for it. Molly CT, Torji clears it. Now JDC knows they're coming his way. It's clear as day. Shot connects for his teammate, Shane getting that kill, and now JDC can activate. Only the orb left up, stuck down on the B ramp, still a player to deal with at the back of the site, and Shane's walked right behind him. Mouz on the board with another, and it's 5 alive as well as a free orb. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, Torsi's going to be happy with that one. He gets the orb for free. Little freebie upgrade. All right, all right. And perhaps more importantly than that, you also break Fnatic Rising's money. So this is now where you're kind of, you know, you're rubbing your hands together at the thought of slingshotting yourself up into the lead here. Love what we're getting out of JDC early. He's certainly not letting down the hype around him, right? It's kind of poetic that the first shots, when they don't find him, you know, it's like the old saying, if you take a swing at the king, you better not miss, right? That's kind of how it feels with this guy. If you don't take the limited opportunities you're going to get against him, he will look to give you a very bad time indeed. That's a nice pop flash. Gets them out up onto ramp, but doesn't spare their lives. Sui's holding on and locking down the ramp area, even flashed in by his teammates. And they're going to help him out. So 3-3, the equalizer found. It's a nice, quick, clean, flawless round for mouz NXT.
Yeah, ever since guns came out, they've looked a lot more, capable, a lot more clean on these rifle rounds. And yeah, I think it's super exciting to see more Israeli players as well inside of, international teams. We've got a couple of examples, of course, with, not only Flames, but also in Ents, in the form of Sphinx. So, Xerxen also coming from there. We haven't had any top Israeli teams. We've had some appear at minors in the past, but, to see these individuals go into international teams is really, really cool. So 4-on-4. JDC has grabbed a refrag, and flashing through ramp, Fnatic will move up towards that A site. Nade misses on the sandbags. Been seeing a few nades, mollies, smoke lineups miss in these games gone by. Little things that make a lot of difference, or at least can make a lot of difference. So those are all things that, you need to get perfected. It all takes time. And I imagine for a lot of these players as well, shoved in, or when I say shoved into teams, have a lot of lineups to learn very quickly. Sui pushed up, and he grabs a key headshot into Pepsor to start. He's even going to re-aggress. He's going back for more, and it will be a punished pick instead from Keve. The Swede avenges his brother, and mouz is trying to deny the bomb plant here.
Yeah, Xerxen's waiting with this Molotov. That's going to go in on the planter, try to disrupt this bomb plant. So there it is going over. And the molly lands, right? We've seen this missed earlier on today by FURIA Academy and by Astralis Talent. Well, mouz NXT know what they're doing, but is that going to save them? Is the Molotov landing going to make a difference? It's not looking like it. Xerxen, the man who threw the molly, is cut down, and Keve has one hell of a round there for Fnatic Rising. 3 in it and a 4th on the board. Great stuff out of him. You touched upon it. Him and Pepsor, obviously, they've got this history together. They know each other. That was brought up in the interview as well. These guys actually, competed in like one of these Swede Cups. There were a bunch of recognizable names in it. They were on a team together with Brolin and 4th on the board. Great stuff out of him. You touched upon it. Him and Pepsor, obviously, they've got this history together. They know each other. That was brought up in the interview as well. These guys actually, competed in like one of these Swede Cups. There were a bunch of recognizable names in it. They were on a team together with Brolin and Jaquinho. So, there is this link into the main Fnatic roster, even more so there, and a bit of synergy between Keve and Pepsor.
Yeah, these guys have played together for a while, so that's a really good feeling. Not the start you would have wanted, though. The AWP B going down. There's still another one in the hands of mouz. Torsi's still standing up on A, but smoked off behind the ramp. Fnatic are not interested in that site. They're taking middle. Oh, this time the CTs are fighting for it. Xerxen's out wide. Very, very dangerous. And they'll double swing him to get that kill. 5-on-3 rather now. World's your oyster. Doesn't matter where you go as long as you go together. JDC flashed out and they're climbing, they're chasing, they're going everywhere. They'll finally take him down. Going up above as well. Torsi doesn't know where to look. And Shui all alone does grab one, but it feels like an already sunken ship. Okay. He's just so low.
Yeah, I mean, you would be hard-pressed to find a way back in, even if this is like a 1v2 and they're both tagged, man. Like, you're so close to death, and there's so many crossfires, so many angles you got to worry about. Sui, I think this is audacious to even be considering it. And yeah, he will get locked out of the round, regardless the man to do it. So Fnatic Rising 5-3, considering this team, we didn't even really know who was going to be on until the event started.
Until the afternoon.
Yeah. you know, they're actually giving mouz NXT a really good run for their money thus far. I thought this was going to be a bit of a bloodbath, considering the precedent that mouz NXT have set.
Yeah, it also feels like the map veto hasn't, like, you know, we're early, of course, but it doesn't feel like it's shocked Fnatic or anything. You know, maybe that was mouz's hope, right? We also just saw the bomb get thrown off as well. That was last map we saw by FURIA, of course, but we just saw the same thing. Harry, we cast a lot of Vertigo. I've never seen that. We just saw it in back-to-back games. Maybe they were watching last game. Actually, that might even be it. 5-3 and a 4-on-3, still in the favor of Fnatic. They're going back to the B site. There's very little here to stop them in the round. It's a USP on Shane. Needed an immediate dink, and it's not going to happen. So, looking like a 6th round. And yeah, as I was saying, I don't think the veto has gotten in the way. Fnatic look very comfortable here individually, right? Even maybe as a team, you don't have these full executes. But Vertigo, as far as utility is required, although it can be key, on this T side, the smokes you need are actually really limited. Like left and right A site and B gens. And really, you can get away with just that.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And like, they're not the most complex lineups out of all the smokes going. It is really just like, look here, maybe you have to spice it up with a jump throw, but that's really, you know, it's pushing one button. That's really the extent of it. No, man, on top of that, like, I think a lot of the pressure in this matchup, I think thus far, right, there hasn't been, you know, day one of a double round robin. Like, there hasn't been a tremendous amount of pressure. But I think for mouz NXT, there kind of is more so on them than Fnatic Rising here, right? Because of the very limited time Fnatic Rising have had, because they've come into this saying, yeah, we're just kind of taking it one game at a time, you know, like seeing what we can improve on over the course of the event. No one's looking at this going, Fnatic Rising needs to be winning every single game. You know, like no one's expecting that. Whereas for mouz NXT, these guys have done a bit more on like the bigger stages. You do have names in here that are being eyed up as like, you know, potential moves for the future. There's kind of a lot more hype around mouz NXT. And so under that vein, you know, in that essence, I think for Fnatic Rising, they're in a situation where really they can only go above our expectations. They can only win. And for mouz NXT, it's really the polar opposite of that.
No, absolutely. Like, them winning strong would be, okay, good.
Yeah, and in a way, it's like expected. It's like, yeah, okay, they did what we thought they would.
Just to back this up with some actual results, right? Like, recent results from this mouz NXT roster. They 2-0'd Young Ninjas, they 2-0'd Lingby Vikings, they 2-0'd Entropic, they 2-0'd Spirit Academy. Like, these are legit wins from this team. So, yeah, I echo your sentiment there, Harry. That being said, it's always a 30-round game and sometimes even longer, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Fnatic have not won yet. 3-on-5. This gun round is not looking good for them. Middle is controlled by the T side, but mouz, again, have been really good at keeping the comms clean and making sure they at least have the information. Zershan is on that job, right? He's checking the boost. He's going back to CT. And so even if Fnatic get the space, it will be commed along. And, well, better than that, Zershan takes the kill.
Well, Pepsar is going to trade that one frag out, but there's a lot more in CT to worry about. Regali completely surrounded, and JDC is going to mop him up. So there's a cleaner round for mouz, right? That's more of what we wanted.
Yeah, we even saw Torsi clearly having some flashbacks, checked that top yellow in CT with the AWP when he came through off his A-rotate. Only because he died the other round, just scoped up on B, and someone climbed over. That's just funny, little detail. I don't know. How often do you really check that anyway? But yeah, the double AWP is back as well. Seeing it on Shane alongside Torsi. He's going through the short smoke.
Ballsy from Torsi. Here he is, trying to exert some pressure at ramp, but the flash is enough to get him out of there. It's actually Shane's AWP to open up with the first over here at this B bomb site. Pepsor on the receiving end of that. And Sui waiting over here behind the sandbags. There are Molotovs aplenty. I say aplenty. There's one Molotov to flush him out, but I imagine this is where it gets thrown. You didn't have ramp early. You don't know if there's anyone behind the sandbags. And so there's that Molotov going in now. Sui's going to have to smoke it, and now they know they've got him trapped here.
Yeah, this is a hard one to get out of. You need your team to flash you, really. Is anyone going to come out and save him, or will they just tell him, good luck, see you in the next round, mate? Get one at least, come on. Xerxes going to re-aggress at short, but trying to beat the smoke and fight through the Molotov. Sui gets out alive, and Xerxes, might not be as lucky. The nade will do it after the death, but Keve is still up short, taking this space that was just gained. A-Smoke's soon to fade as well, at least the one on the right side, but Torsi goes up and over on the boxes and grabs an advantage back.
And he's still so cognizant about Keve over here on the short side. Oh, there's the swing. It felt like only a matter of time. mouz will lock in yet another round with 4 players surviving. And so suddenly, you know, like the success of the early rounds going in favor of Fnatic Rising, you start to put that to the back of your mind. You're a long way away from breaking the money, mouz. You're not going to have any of these 2-for-1 freebie rounds locked and loaded anytime soon. And that's before you even start factoring in your own economic situation, right?
Yeah, we're getting what we want out of Torsi right now, at least. He's not really been in the right spot a lot of these rounds, but that was a good one from him. A necessity to get Fnatic Rising on pistols. Shui's looking down ramp, and he's about to be met by many men. Deep smoke. I think that's the one that bounces onto the bridge as well, but it's not going to do anything. Fnatic are already up and past the bridge. Torsi waiting with the orb. Bombs on the right side as well, so they're pretty much committed here, starting to move up. Torsi takes the first, Sui re-mollies, and now he's got a chance to fight as well. I like how they're just not giving away these kills. They're waiting patiently for the flashbang, and he gets a double off of it. Very well worth. Oh, wow. Nice shot from Torsi, again recovers, despite just spotting Pepsor, and that's info that he has, right? So they know where Pepsor is. There's no question about it. Just a matter of putting the bullets through the body. 6-6, and like you said, this recovery is well and truly here.
Yeah, it's all starting to come together for mouz NXT. That's how it must be feeling, right? You've had these double AWPs as well, and they've been serving you well. With Torji coming into his own over here towards A, and Shane's AWP at B also good at removing like the lurk of Pepsor. You know, you think about some of these early rounds, Pepsor was pretty influential in how they played out on him hitting the timings over towards those B stairs. So he's going to go back to it again. But as mentioned, this AWP has been getting the better of him. So I wonder what solutions he's got for that.
Oh, Sui's pushed all the way down. Look at the aggression from mouz, and it's caught them off guard. Sui, can he live? Can he even get another? The molly's down, and so are the shots right into Regali. There's still a player to his right that's actually crossed out.
This is wild.
But he can't find the kill yet. He's hiding in the smoke. Oh! Both players are blind, and Keve will forget about it, mate. It never happened. 4-on-2. And Fnatic Rising stuck in the mud.
Yeah, Pepsor's had to come back from B and rejoin KST down here at the bottom of ramp. But this is leaving a lot of holes open for Fnatic Rising, right? mouz NXT are already trying to take advantage of that. They've got a player pushed up all the way through middle. I think it's Torji now holding on and dropping down the ladder to come in on this wrap. He's getting the info that it's looking like an A play, so I imagine we're going to see Shane start to rotate off of B at some point. He's still there with JDC. Now we have that rotation, and that's because Torji has spotted both these players at ramp and has called the A play well in advance.
Yeah, and even then, they're not giving him the fight. They're not chasing him on the flank. They're making him commit, and so his options weren't really there. Just dies on the ramp, gives mouz the lead right back, 7-6, keeping the double AWP. For Fnatic, their money problems have just begun. I don't know how Sui gets away with so much on this push as well. We've been seeing a lot of this ramp aggression, right? Not just from him, but Xerxes in with the first gun round, wrapped the bottom of short and managed to get a flank kill and escape. I love that mouz just have no fear about pushing Fnatic in this position.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's essentially 2 fights going. I'll hold this thought because this is about to be a fast B play. Look at this. Up they come into the waiting guns. Shane and JDC are making this B site a very unwelcoming, unhospitable
Unhospitable place.
Yeah. Because no one's lives getting saved here. It's more of a mortuary or a morgue.
Oh, no word is safe. And no bomb site safe either.
So what I was gonna say,
Yeah,
do I remember it?
I certainly don't.
Hang on.
What were you going to say?
What was I gonna say? There was actually, I had like a really, really nice, well-rounded point.
Can't have been that nice.
No, it can't have been that nice or well-rounded. I certainly can't seem to remember it. So here we go, Regali with his AWP peeking up ramp. Oh, Shane getting stuck in with his. Very mobile on this AWP, right? They've been used to facing him at B 9 times out of 10. Well, now he's taking it over in middle, and he's put it to great use. One of these AWPers is consistent in positioning, and that's Torshi. He's still waiting around at top ramp. And Regali is going to get the better of him. Meanwhile, there's this fight going on at B. And Shane wrecks Pepsor through that smoke.
Yeah, it's a good one-way from Pepsor, but Shane's on top of default, so he's way higher up than is allowed. And dead on the A site for Process as well. It's just a 1-on-3, knife out for JDC hunting that bomb. And Regali, he's been given a path back to the B bomb site. He's going to take it. Zertian hears that this sounds like a commitment and moves in very quickly. Now he's tucked behind default, good position. Bomb pass should be hard unless Regali tries to clear this, and he doesn't know. He's getting baited in by that con player. All a bit of a ruse here by Shane. All he has to do is live, and Regali's going to try and hunt this kill. Okay. All right, timings. Getting weird, smoke in the way, and now a path to A, but he doesn't know about the backstab. He never knew about the backstab. Zertian closing the half with 9-6 for mouz NXT, and you can see those early streaks of rounds on the board there from Fnatic. They found something at least. It's not shameful, not at all, but is it enough on the T side of Vertigo, Harry?
Yeah, you know, 6-9, it's not awful, right? You're not looking at that and going, yeah, you know, we were hoping for more like a 10-5. You know, that's a long way out of your realm of thinking. But with so many of those rounds falling early in the game, you're certainly not happy with it like ending on such a big streak for mouz, right? It's starting to feel like they really had your number. I did remember my point, and I'll bring it up now because it's still relevant. There was essentially 2 fights going on there in that first half, right? In so many of those default rounds, you had the main bulk of the action, we'll call it like the main fight, going on towards a ramp. And generally speaking, that was like 3 players from the mouz side trying to fight up against 4 from Fnatic. And a lot of the time, they were able to chip away at that and, like, you know, really detract from the ramp control in their favor on the mouz side. Meanwhile, you had like this second fight going on over towards B ramp, and a lot of the times it was just Pepsor lurking, trying to offer up like an alternative if A doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to. And the moment that Pepsor started to get figured out, started to get shut down over towards B, it just felt like all you were left were these like A rush plays up through ramp into that triple hold as mentioned. So really, you know, I think props have to go the way of the B-side players, just for like, you know, denying that avenue entirely to the Fnatic Rising squad, right? It forced you to go into that A ramp stack.
Yeah, and again, a warning for y'all. We're going to have more TeamSpeak action coming into this second half as mouz's pistol would be just around the corner. And let's jump into it now.
Yeah, I think one
guy was close
I'm
B.
ready,
He
I'm
heard
ready.
me definitely.
Be ready for
Waiting
that
for
push as well.
Yeah, wait for them. If they push, we swing.
Swing left side, yeah. Okay, John, you
I'm
ready?
there now, yeah.
Wait,
3, 2, 1, strafe.
Ivy.
Other.
Everyone runs on back. Fall back now. And now.
You went back
Just
from
jump.
Ivy, I think.
Yeah, let me go. When you go here, like peek wide, guys. Or like, good peek.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will
nading.
smoke left side, then we
Okay.
will nade, and then we flash.
Ready?
Okay,
Let's nade.
that's it.
Ivy. Close.
Flashing Ivy, guys.
Dead.
Flashing Ivy.
Nice.
Can be on water.
Let's go.
Ivy.
I'm going go.
You can plant, I
Should
think.
I smoke con, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
do
you
it,
flash?
do it.
Flash in the
Wait,
smoke,
man.
Adam, as well. Smoke and
Smoke
flash.
con.
Flash.
Wait. Flashing over headshot.
Bomb is down, guys.
Three
You need
guys
to plant.
in con. Those,
I'm planting.
the guys, three guys, everyone.
Push 3
mark
city. 3 city. Mark
off.
off.
I'm Ivy. I'm Ivy.
They're coming out.
One out
One
there,
dead.
one more.
Let's
last
peek
one.
left.
2v1.
Let's peek left.
Let's go!
Yo, you're so good, man. Nice shots.
And
Pow,
she fugger,
pow,
bro. And she fugger, man.
Guys,
Yo.
let's play default.
The
Just
Harbor and
feel how
Speaker,
to
right?
play.
I love
the
that.
blood pumping.
I love it. I love the entry fragger, man.
Do I smoke on?
Oh, yeah, man. That's brilliant.
Credit to Fnatic. They had the read there. They had the double nades. They did deny the bomb plant. That was a nice idea. But long term, didn't really work, did it? Even the CT push got all that info. And, man, it is great hearing the comms. It really is great. What a refreshing little detail. 10-6, and yeah, I think this is where the job really gets hard for Fnatic, right? Especially on the CT side. Not just the fact that mouz are going to be more well prepped, right? So their T side executes will probably be pretty, I don't think there's going to be many holes, or at least not as many. And then on top of that, Fnatic, they're running rotates. They've got to coordinate retakes. Like, all these details can be really difficult for a new team. So it's a cool little tower. What would you call that, Harry? You got a name for it?
Normally I'm pretty good at stuff like this. But no, let's see. Maybe it'll come to me in the moment. I got nothing. Oh my. It was a cool idea. I like that. I might give that one a go in some of our games, Hugo. Calling the pistol stack over in mid.
Yeah, I'll stand on your head. You can't stand on mine.
Oh, why?
Yeah, just dirty feet.
I thought that was your whole thing, Hugo. I thought the dirtier the foot, the happier the man.
Harry. No.
What is it about feet then that gets to you? Is it the shape, the smell, the look, the
length,
size?
I think.
The length of the foot.
Yeah, usually I work in meters, but sometimes feet will do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you want me to ruin it? I'll ruin it, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, you try and get weird, Harry.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool.
That's
All
what
right.
you get.
Well, don't mix up metric and imperial. Might end up with a binomial something or other.
Oh, I knew where you were going, but so close yet so far.
Oh my word! Waiting around the smoke and reaping the reward is Keve.
Right, maybe you take a backseat for this round.
It's
Harry.
really hot. That's
really
my
hot.
defense. It's 30 degrees. Ooh, up
Social.
around KST.
How's he
Double
done
hole,
that?
baby. The famous holds true, and now it's just Shane in the 1v3.
It's an underwhelming clutch because nothing's happening. No one's hunting. The bomb's down and Fnatic know it. Shane, wait until he's spotted. He's got the kill. Okay, that's all the flank dead, but he's very scared about it, and I can't blame him. They're all coming from the same spot in CT. Dear, oh dear, Molotov going over the top, tap on the bomb, waiting for this ramp flank that's never coming, and now he needs to stick it. It is safe from ramp, but it's also default. Here they come flooding through, and the spray's almost there. It's going to be Fnatic finding a retake, a must-win round to keep themselves in this map. Lovely little double for KST as well. Not really had to talk about him all
Yeah,
too
what a
much,
time for him to step up,
Yeah.
right? Hadn't really done anything in the game thus far for the Fnatic Rising squad, kind of been struggling. And then we get like a must-win moment out of him where he finds that double and uproots the entire game plan for mouz.
And there's still hope. There's always still hope. First going round for Fnatic Rising, and well, mouz, they're buying straight back up. Ramp is getting given away by mouz. They're fine waiting behind the smoke and giving some respect the way of Fnatic, but Fnatic take a quick peek with the flashbang. They see nothing. That's a one-way lineup. Stealing that. Thank you very much. And Process is going to try and use it to grab a kill, but as said, mouz are very slow. And so no smokes, no info gained, doesn't matter. Yeah, they don't want to do it after they missed their jump, and I don't blame them there. Don't think mouz would have read into it, but it's always a call you're making when you're coming up ramp so late in the round. Watch out for the boosts. Look up.
Oh. I hear a lot of typing.
Yeah, there is a lot.
And I
I'm
saw
wondering if the
someone
round's
drop from the
live.
server.
Ah, really?
And no damage was done. So it might not be live. And
yeah,
I'm
that
really
would sound
getting the
right.
vibe that it's not live.
Yeah, either that or this is the worst strat I've ever seen. It's 20 seconds, guys. Get out of spawn. Come on. Yeah, this round will likely be replayed, it seems, but that's fine. As
Hey, if you're Fnatic Rising, you've never been happier that someone has just played a slow default against you. Because if damage had been done, the round wouldn't have been remade, I'm assuming, right? So yeah, that's a good one.
And we've now made it fair. We've made it 6v5, just to balance it.
Oh yeah, hang on a moment.
mouz don't need any more
Who's that
players,
extra
guys.
guy?
mouz
Who's the one
don't
with no
need
name
help.
tag? He doesn't have anything going on. He got 16 grand in his bank account. He just showed up.
Drop a bunch of orbs, leave the server. Oh, it's Cyclone. What up, Cyclone? Yeah, we were going to talk about Cyclone. Let's speak about Cyclone. So obviously Danish player, been around the block, been on Tricked, and this is something we spoke about earlier. I guess I'll put more context on it. Obviously Tricked, a team that have known to been farming great Danish talent for years, and not just the coach slots, but in players as well. Many of the players that we watch on the top stage in Danish Counter-Strike at one point were in Tricked. So, you know, Cyclone included there. And I also know that Tricked have like a lot of like teaching facilities where they do, you know, push the next generation of Counter-Strike talent in a very small way. But I think that's awesome. And Cyclone's definitely must have picked some stuff up from that as well, as he's bringing it into the mouz Academy coaching slot.
So this is kind of like, you know, running with that train of thought, right? One of the things that was like super interesting to me, I think it was either Tricked or it was Copenhagen Flames. Like they were talking about how, you know, they've been profitable as an esports organization, which obviously in esports pretty unheard of for orgs to actually be making bank. And one of the ways that they were doing it was by bringing players up, selling them to folks with more money, and then just reaping the rewards, right? And it's like, you know, that is also one of these little extra benefits that in a few years' time, when folks need new top players, right? When I don't know, let's just say Astralis or VP need new top players. Well, you know, not only do they have their own academy team, so maybe not the best example here, but you know, if you end up looking at like another academy, set a bunch of guys, and you go, oh, I got my eye on this guy from this academy team. How much is that going to cost me? You know, like suddenly that's a whole other revenue stream. So that's interesting. That's more as like a financial side of this, as an interesting thing for the future.
You're a bit of an economist.
Yeah, I like money.
Okay, not what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's basically the foundation of it, isn't it? You know, no one wants to hear about economics. That's what I learned. Like after studying it, it just felt like you would try to imbue people with knowledge, and no one really, you know, everyone knows what the economy is. No one wants to know how it works, right? No one wants to see how the sausage is made, right? You just want to eat the damn sausage. So, yeah, man, that's why I don't talk about it ever.
Yeah, Harry was actually one of the large bankers for one of the largest.
One of the large bankers.
One of the
I myself am a very large banker.
Big Omen bank.
Yeah, the Big Omen bank.
Huge. Huge. Right, back we go. Thanks for waiting, folks. 11-7, and whatever you just watched, it was not real. It's a replay now of this round. Someone did drop, but they're all back in, and they're ready to go. Important rifle round here. Fnatic just won their first of the half, and now they need to keep it going.
Yeah, so before that round got called off, it was going to be a sneaky little A play, but mouz NXT aren't doing that this time around. Instead, they're putting a lot more attention over here towards middle. It's kind of intriguing seeing, you know, you got teased how the round was going to play out, and now we get an entirely... It's like we're in an alternate universe right now.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to recall what you just did, though. That would be a big mistake, because then, you know, Fnatic would have a lot more idea of what you're doing and what they can get away with, so... Yeah, if a round ever gets restarted, almost every time it's a completely different call. Unless you really want to mind game them. For util in middle, KST pushed off his position, going to hold passive instead on Con, as the rest of mouz walk their way up A. It's all silent, it's all sneaky, Harry. It's all similar to the last round, except Fnatic have been pulled out of the bomb site. Furthest, the player that is in is on the boost. well-timed Molotov, and it's so well-timed they've been forced to smoke the insertion going through, and he's even got the entry to back it up as well. Don't think Fnatic Rising were ready for the smoke on the molly as they tried to take position. How did that go down there? Went underneath.
Yeah, it just fell through, right?
Went under the map.
Okay, okay. Interesting.
Cool.
It shouldn't matter at all.
I mean, he threw a molly into a smoke.
Yeah, so, you know, going through the floor was maybe a lesser of two evils there.
Maybe.
This is just a full four-man save. We got 9 out of 10 players staying alive. Fnatic Rising taking the full save and looking to bring all these guns with them to have another go at this round in the next.
Yeah, even a gun grabbed, right? JDC came into the round with a deagle, but gets out with everything he needs, so perfect. That's got to feel good for mouz, right? 1 kill and you win the round, but also on the other side, it's the right call for Fnatic. Retaking your man down with mouz and very passive post plants. You have to accept the fact that you've been duped in that round, right? Remember, they were pulled away from A with all of that mid control, with all of that fakery going on, and never had anyone in the bomb site until it was too late. So 12-7, you've got the rebuy here of your Fnatic Rising, and it better work this time.
Oh, the timing on this push outside of B from Pepsor. This could be big. No one's holding for a B wrap, and at the very, very least, you know, you've got a lot of information from this push. You now know that it's not looking like a B play. However, this boost has been spotted. Oh, the deagle cut down. Keve, any better from him? Only one. The trades are in, and mouz NXT keep it favorably in the 3-on-2. They're even going back. There is this wrapping player. It is Pepsor on his B aggro. And oh, he does deal with the first, but the trade is found by JDC. And so that's left all the hopes on KST.
And look at the A-Rap, look at the flank. KST's trying to re-aggress, but Shane's coming in with the backstab. He might even be JDC stealing the kill. He's got the info, and now he can run knife out to that B site. If they try and rotate safe, Shane is here to cut it down, and that's a perfect call from mouz. KST is at least avoiding death or maybe delaying it. So Shane's going to try and hunt him. That's actually
a 1v1.
Giving it away. Yeah, I understand why he goes there. He thinks KST is flanking JDC at that point of the round, and instead it's a clutch from KST. Now that is somewhat given away by mouz. They're not going to be happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, that's a little rough, right?
If you want to get like convoluted, jumping up, if you think about it, if KST is flanking there, if he's actually chasing JDC, you would hear it. There's no way that he's walking a flank.
Yeah, well, so the other thing I was also thinking is like, you know, I think a lot of teams in that situation there, right? The thing that makes it scary is you have like no basis for where KST is. So I understand trying to get the info, like, is he on A? Is he not on A? Is he flanking? Is he already over towards B? But I do feel like, you know, you could have just tried to go for like a comm plant, played into the round late, hold for a rotation back, right? It's one of those things where you're in a 2-on-1, so there's never really like a concrete correct play. And it's very easy for me to sit here having the X-ray and the radar and go, well, you idiot, you went to the wrong play.
It's a very confident 2-on-1 from mouz. Both of them take the fight, both of them lose a fight. Usually, one of them will probably win it. I'm surprised JDC died there, honestly, but well played from KST, and it might have given Fnatic a second hope, a second chance in this second half. Although I say entries are coming in for mouz, that's 2 of them already. And back to reality. Oh,
man, just that one bit of presence over towards B has got them paranoid as hell as to what's going on over here at the B site. And once again, mouz NXT are just moving up into A. They've got a free bomb site, a plant, a 4-on-3 that they can ease back into. There is this Molotov on KST, and faking the bomb plant could have actually given him the timing to get it ready. But it's fine. You know, he throws it from elevator, it goes a little shallow, and it's extinguished anyway. Now the push. Regali's good for the first, and the tag onto a second. That's set up Keve to get the trade. Once more, mouz are able to brawl their way through to a victory there.
Yeah, you can see the inexperience for Fnatic just simply on their rotates, right? Like so many of these rounds, one dude is faking and Fnatic are panicking, man. They're just running away from A. And think about how almost every one of these rounds has begun, or at least like tried to begin, by taking that A ramp. So yeah, both times Shane, firstly on that 4-gun save after the replay, Fnatic, they lose A, Xerxen gets a pick, they full save. That was because Shane was throwing mid-util. This time, Shane got a pick in mid and then dropped into B, and even though he died, all of that confusion just gets Fnatic out of position. It uproots them. So yeah, there's some panicking going on for Fnatic, clearly, and you could expect that. Oh no! That looked dead on. Process, you've been scammed. You've been absolutely scammed. Return to sender. Get your receipt. Torsi. It's going to make it worse for Ware, but the molly hits him in the last pick, and it's up to the rifle to save the day. It will for a second.
Yeah, JDC is a bit of a hero by putting it back into a 4-on-3. That's going to make you breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. However, with two of these players down low, you can't get too comfortable. The Eagles are taking it away. Oh, my word. Shane and Xerxen left up in it. An AWP now retrieved and into the hands of Regali, and Process still waiting on the short side. 3 to the good already with this Deagle. And he wants even more than that. The bomb's dropped in his sight line, so they have to deal with this short play. You don't get given the option anymore.
Oh.
You've got to win this fight. They take the first. Regali is burning alive. He does get into the site. Ooh. Oh my word, 15 points of health. The one that got away. Regali, is he enough to pick up this round now? 15 seconds as the push is coming in. Another missed shot. The second, not so lucky. And now onto the USP. 8 points of health on the last man. And Regali has got the round. Fnatic Rising up onto 9. The Deagles, the AWP, they are enough after all.
Yeah, Process got his second dipping, and it was even better than that missed Deag shot, right? That double up on short was wonderful. Look at the second. Oh, filth. Oh, we're going to get another time, even better, through the wall. And then the AWP save from Regali. Time was ticking, but he steps up to the clock. And the low cool as well was fully on it. 90 damage done, so pistol able to close. Kevy pushing through the ramp smoke.
Oh my.
So he knows. Oh no.
What?
Does he know? He feels like he's missed the timing. Backstab? No, shot in the back of the head instead. It's a safer decision, and it's a free gun given to mouz on an eco.
And both teams have really felt this overwhelming sense that like nothing is safe, nothing is certain. And these rounds exemplify that even at the top tiers of Counter-Strike. So you really start to get a little bit nervous after losing that opening fight on an anti-eco round. Maybe forces you to be a bit more scared. And there's another kill turning against you now, bit by bit. You can feel this force buy starting to slip into your opponent's hands. This is where Pepsaw and this AWP on Regali are trying to even the scoreline. Oh, they're doing a good job of that, holding down B. And in the 1v3, there's just not enough room for Torsi. He's cut out. Fnatic Rising are up onto 10.
This is actually super competitive now.
It is, and it begs the question, like, with this little practice, how much better is this Fnatic Rising team going to get as the event goes on?
Absolutely, right? I'm surprised. I don't know how they're holding on after some of the rounds that are going the way of mouz as well. Like, the way that this game has just been crafted, and Fnatic is still here, and now on double digits. Some crazy scenes happening. And a very close eco, but bomb plant, couple of kills, that's all mouz can revel in. They've got to run it back. One more little pistol buy. Oh, Regali. Starting off, KST at the sandbags. Had a quiet game, but has shown up a little bit in the last few rounds. He's got a massive 2K at B. He won that 1-on-2 as well. And now he's in a prime position to farm frags. Oh, he fires off for nothing, for no one, for no reason.
Oh,
now they know where he is, and he can't decide what to do, where to look. Instead, he just dies. Luckily, so do most of his opponents. JDC trying to make things interesting with a pistol. 2 kills. but he can't get any more. Nice try nonetheless. And yeah, aside from KST, who is struggling, the kills for Fnatic Rising are pretty much level with everyone else. Everyone else is pulling their weight. Not to say that KST isn't, he's just struggling in a lot of these 1v1s.
Yeah, I mean, dude, KST, like, okay, he's been pretty quiet in like the mid round and in like these, you know, 5-on-5 moments. He's not the guy you want in the opener. But when it comes to clutching, he's been pretty damn good, right? He got that pivotal 2K with the Famous on their CT side to win them around. He won that clutch as well with the retake.
Yeah, you know, it's not all stats, right? Impact is hard to quantify. But you just imagine if he can have a little bit of an upbringing here in this second half, if he can get himself a little bit thrown into the action, like right there, he just panics on sandbags. He fires, I get it. But then he's just fiddling with nades. You know they're hunting you down. You've got to be the one initiating then, taking those fights. Now he's getting boosted up. They're putting him in positions to succeed, and you've got to respect Fnatic for that. But they're already up through the smoke. Surely one kill here at least. No one's considering it. There's the kill. Now KST can drop off, and it's perfect for Fnatic Rising.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, man. Right as you're highlighting him as well, Hugo, it's almost like you knew. It's almost like you knew.
Yeah, they threw me in the team speak, man. I knew he was going to get boosted.
Right, so little man advantage taken. That's all thanks to KST. And Process for being the bottom guy on the boost, and now taking it one step further than that. He's more than just the bottom boost player. He's the guy that we should have our eye on the short side. Double up already. Torsi will trade it out. And now can recover that bomb for mouz NXT. JDC is making it interesting with entries from ramp. And another for this too.
Yeah.
There's the cancel out. Fnatic Rising do manage to get a leash back on the beast. That is that terrifying twosome on mouz NXT.
Yeah, no matter how many rounds Fnatic get, it feels like none of them are guaranteed. Like, none of them are safe. Like, these 2-on-4s always come down to the clutches, always come down to the 2v2s. And a very nice try again from mouz, but lovely little flashes there. And Process makes them work pretty well indeed. So here we go. We are level almost, one round away from that fact. And mouz are starting to call in pauses. 4 rounds have slipped through their fingers. And they just had a double eco. Now they've got another really rough spot to be in. And so Fnatic Rising, no point but doing anything but believing right now.
No, I mean, the resilience that they're showing is impressive, right? Even the forethought to be putting guys like KST in positions to succeed, to try and get his head in the game a bit more, is brilliant. Like, this is the kind of stuff that, honestly, even tier 1 teams need to work on sometimes. Like, you know, realizing and responding to someone having a bit of a weak game. You know, how do you shake yourself out of that rut? Well, Fnatic Rising are trying to give KST the tools to do that, and they're looking all the better for it. A man advantage again. This is just up against the pistols, but, you know, this is still a bit of an investment out of mouz. And any round you can keep clean is a big victory in their book, so this is their chance to do that.
Oh, annoying. Smoke at B. You might just have to go through if you're on this round. You've only got pistols after all. Looking for a one-way. He's found it. No way. Torsi gets that kill above the smoke. No one could even see him. And Pepsol will just fire back through blindly, getting that trade. Man up our Fnatic Rising. And really, you're looking for guns if you're mouz. You would have loved to be able to pick up KST's weapon, but it's in no man's land right now. Pepsol's holding on to it. And he's not giving up this B kill either. He's making them come to him. Flash for another fight. Sees nothing. And so back to A mouz go.
Yeah, he's been left in the hands of Process over here with this AUG. He's still sitting on a Molotov as well, so that can come in handy to slow down this bomb plant. And with 20 seconds left, like, that could just win you the round on its own. The fact that he's kept this one bit of utility is huge. And there he is with a great little lineup from this position. Denies the bomb plant, and it allows the swing from Keve to find the equalizer. 13-13. And out of all the people to have nailed the bomb denial utility today,
Yeah,
the fact that it's
gold star.
processed from that corner, brilliant.
Yeah. Get a sticker, put it on his lapel. That was great. That was amazing. It's so funny that we've seen all these games today, and I've actually, we watch Counter-Strike all day, every day, Harry. But I've learned new things today that I've never seen in Tier 1 CS. Like, there's a lot of, really cool little details here from some of these rosters. So, yeah, definitely interesting. Oh dear. Nice play from Pepsor. He's ready for someone climbing over the little boost spot there to go round B. So double B push for Fnatic Rising. First time they've done anything of the sort, and it nets them 2 kills. From the get-go, from this round beginning, mouz are begging for a replay. Because what the hell are you supposed to do now? 3 on 5, you've got to hope Fnatic make mistakes.
Oh, that's almost rough for Zerch, and he knows he's lucky to still be alive. He's really committed through the smoke. All right, that's ballsy.
Okay.
But they're the kind of big ballsy plays you got to make if you want to turn a 3 on 5 around. Now you're in a 3 on 3. Smoke on the bomb as well denies any pesky utility. The nade would have been enough to get that kill, and instead, you're able to get out of there and set up in a 2 on 3 post plant.
Yeah, Orpa has been dropped. Do they pick it up? They're low. It would be really nice in the post plant. I say mistakes have to be made. That was not a mistake on short. That's just Zertion going wild. mouz are clawing this round back with a flash to pop Shane in. Maybe he can do something dastardly. No one's on the bomb yet. Pepsor drops in, faking it, jumping back up, and Shane can't stop him. No one can. It's a defuse and a round 1 by Fnatic coming down to the wire, but they now hold the lead. Not said that since the start of the game.
Unreal, man. And this is where, we talk about pressure and how it is different for both of these squads. Well, this is where, it might be easy to get in your head a bit if you're mouz NXT, right? This game was in the palm of your hands, being honest. Like, you could have just run away with it and no one would have been that excited about Fnatic Rising based on their debut. However, now they're giving you a run for their money. This team is very freshly formed. You are definitely the more well-versed, the more well-practiced. And you were probably expecting more of yourselves, let alone what other people are bestowing upon you in the pressure department.
Yeah, just alone from even some of the scorelines in this game that Fnatic have just never given up at. 6 rounds now in a row.
Man, if you're the Fnatic org watching this, you must be rubbing your hands together going like, damn, all right, that hastily put together team is actually looking really good.
Who knew, man? Who knew? Calculated. And let's see if it can last, right? Because it's not done until it's done, and mouz still have money.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people, like mouz NXT are coming in as favorites in a lot of these matchups, right? And to see them in their debut game, going the distance, going the full 30 rounds potentially, and then maybe having it slip away from them, that would certainly be a rather spicy opening to the Academy League.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of surprises today anyway. I think that big Navi Junior game
the big Omen Academy, as much
surprise.
as I meme the name, like, that was really, really surprising.
That was a huge Omen Academy. That was a gargantuan Omen Academy over Navi Junior.
Just the sheer scale of that Omen Academy, mind-blowing.
Well, let's see if Fnatic can size up a W here as they are only 2 rounds away. Haven't been in the lead since 6-3, but here they go with a vengeance. mouz moving quickly up this ramp, taking a lot of damage from the nades has Sui, and Pepsor has taken B stairs fully. Flank is being held, but there's still a lot of information, a lot of map control. You know mouz have no interest in B, and so you've got a triple A setup right now. This is perfect for Fnatic Rising. Spam, got to be very careful. 2T's firing back, but no kills. Nothing significant. And do mouz really want to commit here? Because it is clear as day where they're ending up. The boost coming in late as well might be a surprise. He's even delaying. Oh, no, he fell off. You have to call it now. There's no way you go back for that. But I like the idea. Prozis was trying to hide on the boost so he can peek late with a flash.
Being real, though, I think that boost has actually led to a world of misinformation for Fnatic Rising. They didn't see anything. I know Pepsor's pressured all the way through the B main area, but you've got like this mid lane right now out of Fnatic Rising. I think that's because they saw nothing on that boost. Now they start to pad back out at the A site. throwing Process up over the smokes is a nice way to net the advantage, and Regali has extended it even further. Fnatic Rising, they're just 3 kills away from 15 rounds.
Yeah, it's a wide plant that gives mouz more options here. It's not, you know, too helpful for the guys on short, as you can find cover, a little bit of it behind the boxes. Smokes will fade soon, and Fnatic will start to move in with the flashes. There's JDC taking one. Oh, but he falls immediately. Close cleared. Torsi now alone, has to spray them all down, and it's only one. Fnatic get that defuse in, and 15 rounds found, as you said, Harry. My goodness, I never thought this would happen. What a debut from a team only just built days ago, who have barely been able to practice against a team of mouz's caliber, mouz NXT, the academy team that has taken down some big names in the top 40.
So this was from 13-8 all the way to 15-13. Unreal, man. Like, the kind of fortitude that's required to make these comebacks happen can't be understated enough. And this isn't like a team of players where they're buddy-buddy, they've been friends for years, so they're able to kind of hype each other up and know how to build each other up.
Oh, lovely.
It couldn't be further from that. So this is so impressive. A 4-on-4. Pressure is really on for mouz NXT.
Yeah, KST, this is his time, his chance to have a big round, and he needs to as well. He's gone down to the AWP. The smoke was in the way, but not for Torsi. And now mouz, now they're believing, now they're fighting yet again, fighting for overtime here in the last map of the night. 4-on-2, just trying to commit back into this B-bomb site. Keve's here.
Yeah, but how much of a say can he really have in what's happening? The Molotov, you know, denies a plant for a moment. It forces some repositions in the site, but you're not really in a spot to capitalize on that.
I thought they were going to save, man. Honestly, they are broke, Harry.
Yeah, they're really throwing everything at this, giving it a real, like, final push. And there's a kill out of Process. Maybe that gets you believing. There is this 1v2 in the site. They're certainly giving him opportunities to make something of this round. Flash out for the back quad peak, and Xerxen will lay it to rest. 14-15, and after going for that, Hugo, you said it, right? They throw everything in.
Yeah.
Now, there is extra money on Regali and Pepsor, but, you know, with Regali having to buy up the AWP, that's basically all your money spent from him.
Yeah, there was like 8k and 5k, and then everyone else is below 2. So it's like, yeah, you can get rifles, but it's not a full buy. You're saving 2 guns there and a 2-on-4.
Yeah, then it would have been a full buy.
I feel like that's the call. I feel like that's definitely the call, because, you know, it checks out pretty well at that point.
But I think, you know, that's one of these things that we've seen out a lot of these academy teams today, and it's like, I don't think they ever want to admit that period of defeat.
True.
They wanna believe that every round is doable, and I think it's only through the experience that, like, the top pros have, that you kind of learn, like, not every round is winnable, and sometimes playing for the next is the way to go.
Okay, this has been a good boost in the past, but I said it in the past, JDC's ready for it. He reads it well. Double kill into that B-bomb site, and in come mouz, charging down the gate. Regali needs something heroic here. He's found that first. There's so many more where that came from. Meanwhile, the bomb is leaving. It wants nothing to do with this B-bomb site. This is a fake being sold and being bitten on by Fnatic, but they still get the kill.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. It's delivered this 3-on-3. Right now, the guy I'm looking at as a difference maker is Xerxen. He's so deep, he's pushed up into elevator, and he catches Keve on rotation. Now a 2-on-3. Regali and Process have got to do it all if they want to have this chance to end it in regulation. Put a stop to the mouz comeback before it even begins. Time's ticking off of this bomb, and the peaks have got to be damn near flawless out of Fnatic Rising, and that there is anything but. Torsi lays this round to rest and brings us into overtime.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's, you know, I think we deserve it, Harry. It's our first day. It's the last game. We're not delaying anyone else. Let's just keep this one rolling. Bonus rounds, baby. The comeback of a lifetime for Fnatic Rising. As you said, what was it, 13-8, 13-7? 13-8, all the way to 15-15. Luckily enough, mouz, they show us something. They remind us they're still alive just at the end by finding a couple of rounds to lock in a bonus play. But damn, man. Who knows where this is going?
Yeah, I mean, now you really don't have any idea, right? Like, we've seen this comeback potential out of both squads now. It's the infamous, you know, you get to 15 and finding that one round needed is the hardest to get.
Yeah, we often say the old cliche of, well, the more experienced team often comes out ahead in overtime. Well, I don't think that's going to play any part in this tournament or even in this map as well. It's more who has the better mental, who can hold on, who cannot give up. And right now, both these teams doing their best to just keep it rocking.
Yeah, I think, you know, for the... Whenever people imagine, like, tilting or things like that, you know, like the mental aspect that requires, you know, it is required at pro-level Counter-Strike, people, you know, maybe imagine it's like the tilt you see in, like, where, you know, everyone's, like, raging at each other. I don't think it's anything so, you know, in your face, right? It is just more like how you're processing the information you're getting. Yeah, and, like, a lot of the time, that's what it ends up being. It's like things become more internalized. You feel like you're slipping out of your ability to read the game.
Worse comms.
And yeah, right. And so, yeah, well, we can kind of get an idea as to how it's going. We got the mouz team speak on the line.
Fine. He's not pushing.
I'm picking up to the Molotov.
Okay.
Get off the flash.
Yeah, I'm at flash.
Yellow dead.
Nice.
One more, yeah.
One more IV.
He fell back from
I
mid.
think they started 4A. I
Probably
think they
we have
started
timing
4A,
on
guys.
mid.
Guys.
We have timing on mid.
Are we going B?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're going window on
Yeah?
mid.
Okay.
Can you pressure B?
Yeah, flashing B. Once.
Mollying
Twice.
B. Oh my god, I'm mollying middle.
Wait, his default. Dead,
Dead.
OP, one more
One more
maybe.
B. KSD.
One
No,
mid,
that's
mid.
him. Big clear,
Under
big clear,
window.
big clear,
One
big
mid.
clear, big clear.
Ready's on B. Oh.
Dead.
I'm planting
Nice.
to open.
I flank, guys. They will go for it. Be aware.
If they do, we kill them. Fine.
They're full money.
One
They go for
CT.
it.
I will hold CT for you.
One dead.
Nice, coming.
Nice.
I have flank, guys.
I can flash CT if you want.
No, I will hold it.
I think he's on the box somewhere, CT. I heard a wooden
Nice.
step.
Just fucking go, boys.
Outplaying
Nice.
the Monet, bro.
Guys,
Not funny, man.
Now we got
What's
it.
the score now? What's the score?
16-15 for us.
Yeah, can you do the Fury round to start like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up somewhere in CT. They nailed that part that he was, you know, getting tricky with it. How's NXT are going to grab that first round? I tell you what, from listening to the comms, spirits are sounding high.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like they're really believing in this comeback, and that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the attitude in the team probably very quickly changed from, come on guys, let's close it out, let's finish it. Remember that 2-on-1 where they kind of throw it away by double facing, you know, JDC and Sui, I think it was. But, you know, then it just turned from, come on guys, we just need this last round. We just need to lock in OT. We just need to keep it together. Now they're there, now they know what they're fighting for, but it's not done yet. Fnatic, aggressive, jumping through the smoke is Sui, that won't work. JDC does get onto the site, but he's now got to hunt down this short player. They've got him boxed in at least. Sershin spraying, and oh, JDC turns. I don't know what happened there. It looked like he knew what was going on, but yeah, 180 out of nowhere, maybe expecting a backstab. Nope, he's right in front of you. Weird round. mouz try and speed up the pace. They try and get a quick A take, something they haven't done all regulation long. And that's probably why.
Yeah, last of this first half of OT. And maybe going to see a return to these B plays out of mouz NXT. Sershin.
Sershin's so good at getting
actually the
openers.
guy to open once again, playing around with his little short smoke one-way. Oh my, all right. Bit of a rough timing on the nade pull and fall
Oh,
back. And
look at
don't
this.
say this is a recovery out of Fnatic Rising. This was a 3-on-5. This should have been a done deal for mouz NXT. And yet somehow, these rising stars of Fnatic have found themselves a way, boosting over. Regali given open sight lines in towards this B site. Stewie is hiding in this smoke. Cabe looks suspicious. He's on the money, but it's Stewie to get the kill. And mouz Sports, they get up onto 17 there. for the end of that first half of OT.
Man, you can see it all kind of goes out the window once you hit OT, and I love that for mouz. They start playing a lot more loose. They have some faster rounds, right? Speeding over con to B. These are things they didn't really do in regulation. It was just a lot of slow defaulting with A takes, and eventually they started to panic and run B executes towards the end. But like the speed of these T rounds were really, really nice, and it definitely caught Fnatic off guard. Had a lot of time to gather their thoughts and set up for retakes in the past. That was not that T side. And so mouz now favored, need 2 more to close.
Yeah, and towards the end of Fnatic Rising's T side, if we remember, it felt like they started to get figured out a bit, right? The Pep saw lurks up through B ramp, we're getting ready. He's back to it again. It is, while we had a completely different T side out of mouz NXT, we've got, a damn near carbon copy from Fnatic Rising this time
I think the difference is mouz, ran a T side going into regulation, so like they already had just tried everything, whereas it's been a while since Fnatic have been on the attack, and you can see the confidence is there for mouz. Look at the 2 AWPers facing very, very audaciously to find opening kills. And you can definitely see the fact that, it's been a while for Fnatic. They're still regaining, recuperating what the hell they're doing on this T half, because as you said, in regulation, it didn't really work wonders.
Yeah, and like when you're playing that T side in regulation all the way back in the first half, you might not even be thinking about, what if this goes to OT, right? What if this goes the distance and I need to remember, well, what were the tendencies? What was working well for us? You're kind of living in the moment at that point in time if you're Fnatic Rising. And now you're having to think, cast your mind back 20-something rounds to what was going on. And this first round, moving into the second half of play, sees a mouz NXT victory. So now it's them on the finish line. They're up onto 18, and they are looking to do good in their opening debut here of the WePlay Academy League.
Yeah, so if mouz closed, sure, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't as clean as it should have been, but at the end of the day, the result is the result, and I'm sure they would learn a pretty hefty lesson from giving up some of those rounds.
Being real, I think the takeaway for the day, because of this scoreline, like you say, and this ties into the pressure we were talking about that's on mouz earlier on. When we walk away from this matchup, I'm going to be thinking, man, Fnatic Rising surprised me and played well. Out through mid, they get the opener, change of pace, as they just absolutely storm through middle. Can they get past Shane on this AWP? Running through mid smokes is also Sui, dead after 1. Okay. It's Torzi and Shane, the double AWPs left alive for mouz.
The bomb's dropped. There's another one. They see the barrel and they chase him down. No fear. Almost the mid-air shot from Torzi. Let's see if he can show us something spectacular. Nope. The molly will burn him out instead. And the double OT looms in the distance. Just round the corner. 1 round away. Fnatic can taste it. And mouz, once again, another game that they don't want to drop. You've got the chance now, you need to make the most of it. Last round of the first overtime, it's either double OT or it's a mouz victory.
Yeah, early mollies at ramp. Torzi throwing the rebound Molotov, goes a little deeper up the ramp and slows people down. Doesn't stop a short cross. Well, that's what the short player's for, am I right? You got the deep smoke down there as well, so they're really held back, right? That molly is super effective when played in tandem with the smoke. It means anyone trying to get ahead of your utility ends up burning to a crisp before you even face them.
Oh, the CTs are flashing back in. Scary stuff. Everyone blind on both sides, but the nades do follow. And it's going to be the first blood for mouz. Shane in middle. He was good in reg with that AWP there, but it's Torzi taking all the glory. Wall banged out. 2-on-3 for everything now.
Yeah, Regali KST, man. This is what you guys have been playing for the last hour, right? The whole reason you're here was the resilience to make a comeback happen, and it might all be for nothing if you can't get past JDC. They do get that kill. KST, as mentioned, when it's been crunch time, when the kills have been high impact, he has been there, able to answer the call. Well, now he's opened up a B play, and once more, it's down to this double AWP hold of Shane and Torzi.
Yeah, it's not what you want on the retake, right? Double AWPs, damn. Flash over the top, here they come. Doors is going to turn into the Molotov. He goes. The AWP's still on default for Fnatic Rising. Regali not moving a muscle, just holding, guaranteeing his 1v1. Or so he likes to think. Will it be that easy? Well, they come around left side, so they will. One going right, and Regali hits his shot. Double OT. I think we're going there. Torsi can't hit the dig, and Regali will steal it away. Run it back, baby. Do it again, and again, and again. I've got nowhere else to be.
Heartbreaking round for JDC though. Let's address the elephant in the room, right? This guy, top of the server, 30 kills, having a great game, and he is in the position that can win the whole round. And it's in that exact moment, as he repositions, he tries to hide. He tries to like play the long game, realizing that A's gone silent. There's very little time left. If he just delays it, then that's enough.
It's so sad because his off angle was actually perfect. Like he would have had one at least from that position. There's no way they're ready for him like next to the gens. But he actually 180s because he's checking below the stairs. He just in case someone snuck out earlier and he's playing trigger discipline, isn't shooting. And I think his brain just gets to him. Like he did that earlier on the T side, if you remember, when he was up on A short and him and Xerxes had a guy trapped in Ivy. He knew he was there. And then for some reason, he just 180s as like checking his back and he gets shot in the back again. So yeah, that's twice for JDC. You can't harp on him too much. As you said, top of the server. This guy's had an impeccable map from himself, but that really hurts. That could have been it. It really should be done, Harry.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, because of where he stands in the server, because of the impact he's been having, you hope that doesn't get to him in some way, right? Knowing that he had the game in the palm of his hand, and one unfortunate decision has stripped it away from him.
No time to think about that. We play on. We don't wait around.
We play, get it?
Yeah.
Pebzor, outside of the B site. This time he's got more Fnatic players with him. And it's good. I feel like there's been a lot more, playing around the ground that Pebzor is able to gain. That was kind of missing from the first half of Fnatic Rising. A lot of the time he was just solo lurking B. Well, now they're throwing him up in boosts. They're leaving him here. Oh, and there's this peek up into the site. Shane on the receiving end of the boost. JDC pulled in from middle to try to stop this B play.
He's using all his util, just trying to get out what he can and then cross into it. Pebzor dead, the orb helps out, and JDC does a lot of damage. Easy conversion there for mouz NXT, finding the first of double overtime. And even though that B pick came in, it did come in too late, right? It was a trade off the back of Shane finding the opener. And that's another thing. Double orb for mouz, really good this game. Like, I don't think Torsi's, been like a mind bender or anything, but he's been consistent, and so has Shane on that B side and in middle when he's had it on the CT side. Like, just locking down his angle, winning his fight, backing up, taking another, just standard opening, nothing flashy, but hitting the shots he must. Torsi's more of the like flashy, flicky, fast AWPer, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's another one of these things, right, where like Shane is almost even more of a talking point because it's kind of surprising to see the double AWP as effective as it is for him. With that said, I think this is something Fnatic Rising have been doing a good job of using against mouz NXT when we've hit overtime, right? So often it's those two AWPs left in these retakes. We want to see them fighting more early, and this round has been a perfect example of that. Right? The AWPs having a chance to fire off. Not just left in the retake, they've taken this advantage of 5-on-3. Fnatic Rising going to be clutching at straws to find a way back in.
Yeah, there's always a way, though.
To be fair, they've shown us that time and time again in this series. So,
yeah, Pebzor tried his one way at B again. Torsi was over the top of the boxes, and so, again, able to put a stop to it. Best way to counter that smoke, just go higher. Flash forward. They're ready for it. Lots of players there. Kevin was blind. Luckily, he had the cover. Re-smoke at the crane, and that will delay Fnatic. Crossing past with that smoke up makes things very difficult. Enemies get a lot more view than you do. And look at the stack. Everyone here for mouz, they know what's up.
Yeah, and this double short hold is great, man. It peels the attention to the wrong part of the site, allows JDC to get away with that kill up close, and with it, mouz NXT are really onto a winner in this half. It feels like one away from a flawless CT side.
Yeah, definitely can't get ahead of themselves thinking the game is closed, right? Feels like that was their undoing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I don't think
times gone
anyone
by.
can believe this game is actually over till it's over,
Yeah.
right? I think our contracts stipulate that, Hugo, right?
That is true. Oh, pause
Little
though.
pause, and
Looks
I
like a
don't see it
tech.
counting down. So that's a tech pause. All right. Hopefully, should be good to get that sorted. But let's relive some of these moments that we've had in this second overtime, right? Loving it so far. This was that double hold over towards short. You peel the attention into the deep sight angle. JDC given a lot more freedom as a result. Also, this mouz CT side has been very, very fluid. Like, people have been changing positions on a whim, it feels like, right? The double AWPs have been swapping it up between B and A. You know, in the first half, it was Torsi a lot AWPing down ramp with Shane anchoring B. Well, when we've hit overtime, that's something that changed. Last round, we had Torsi peeking down towards B ramp and Shane AWPing over towards middle. You know, then even thinking about JDC, right, in regulation on the CT half, he was leaning towards the B site. Well, now that we've hit overtime, he's been a lot more proactive over here at A. So a great, like, look at the fact that, you know, you've kind of got, like, this jack of all trades kind of, right, like, vibe going on the mouse sports side.
Yeah, you know, on Vertigo, you're definitely playing spawns a lot, right? Especially with those orbs. Like, if an AWP ever gets a spawn, they're probably just going to take it, no matter what site they've been playing. So, you know, there's always something to be said for that. And we've actually seen, honestly, on CT sides, mouz's orbs do a lot of the heavy lifting, like getting those opening kills. So many of these rounds in regulation and overtime, that has been the case. So 20-18, 2 rounds in a row for mouz, looking for a clean sweep on their CT side. Can they do it?
Well, Shane is back over here towards B with his AWP. And aggression down at ramp. Only Process holding this right now for Fnatic Rising. He's maybe thankful that the push doesn't come much further down through ramp. Mid control getting taken. If you remember, Fnatic Rising are able to throw in one of these fast mid to Bs to great success earlier on in this game. Maybe it's going to be the answer again to save a bit of face at the end of the first half of this second OT.
Minute left. And still holding this AWP boost on middle. mouz nowhere near it. Although I say that, Shane's starting to change position. It could always come back to bite him. Instead, it's Sershin going through the smoke. And this guy has been at the forefront of every opening fight on that A site. He has been beasting on the ramp. Torsi, however, dead in middle. And Sershin will fall right after. It's up to Sui, alone on that A site right now, to hold on. And he's lost middle. He knows his back is open. They're not taking that space. But he doesn't know that. And so now he has to divert his attention. Steps being heard below A. He's calling to his team at this point. It's definitely an A play, and JDC has confirmed that by pushing in very deep. Bombs up ramp. Time is ticking, though. These Ts need to go.
Oh, and Molly on the plant. That could really just strip this round away from you. Pepsaw needs to get this bomb into the site. Regali on the mid-ramp. 4 kills on his plate, but only good for 1. The bomb goes down with seconds to spare, and they fight this player up on the boost. Oh, Pepsaw, can he get it down to the 1v1? He can. Just JDC left to get past. Low on HP, low on chances, but JDC's the man running out of time. And right now, that's all Pepsaw's playing for. Bomb is not planted for CT, and so JDC taps it, knowing that's going to bait a piece, and he reaps the reward.
Very well played. He didn't want to make any noise, right? He's come all the way on that B flank. Like, there's no confirmation of his position, and so he's trying to play as quiet as he can. But once you realize the bomb is not for your opponent, yeah, smoke, tap, fight, stick. That's JDC, and he has looked incredible today. I definitely think Sui, we just saw the scoreboard. Sui's actually top right now. He's 34 as well. So, yeah, also been really, really good. Not just on the AWP. Like, his rifling's been sublime as well. So, mouz, a flawless CT side. As said, can't get ahead of themselves. Not done yet, but this is the most, the most dominant overtime so far. 1 round out of the next 3 is all they need.
Oh. Yeah, right. And with so many chances, that's the scary thing if you're Fnatic Rising. Like, you're now looking at this going, okay, we need a flawless half of our own if we want to long it out to a third overtime. And with Regali making shots like that happen, an early 5-on-4, there's still a chance you can get 1 out of 3 landed immediately. That's a gnarly little boost up. The tag, but not the kill. Sasui has kick-started the B play.
Yeah, Pepsi was holding for it, man. He dinks him. It's so sad. 2 health. So he's in deep, and he's pushing smokes. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. 3-on-3 here, and the bomb's going down. It's now better or worse, depending on who you're fighting for. KST is fighting full survival, and he's even being flanked as well. He's missed that timing. Just moving back in, but if he makes any noise, this flank is going to activate. He turns on a dime and does grab that kill. Now a 1v2. Time not in his favor, and kills available. He's grabbed a second. It's a 1v1, but he's not going to be able to close it. And mouz Sports close the map 22-18. It's beautiful.